Hello, happy Thursday. Happy Thursday night live. I hope everyone's doing well. This has been a whopper of a week. If you are an empath, it has been a tough one. Let me just say that. It's been a tough one. My symptoms have been lots of memory things, like not being able to remember things, like my brain is kind of fogged. I have had body aches, headaches. I've felt really tired, very low energy, just not feeling good at all. And Adam can attest to that. It's real. This stuff is real. When you feel it like that, when you are a heavy empath like that, you feel stuff. And I know a lot of people have been having a lot of stuff this week. It's been a whopper. So yeah. But enough about me. What do you think of me? No, enough about me. Let's talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Whatever you guys want to talk about. Some people are like, I've just been eating, and some people are bouts of sobbing. Yes, exactly. Look, kind of low-grade flu, on and off crying. I mean, it really is weird. It does feel like it does. And, if fibromyalgia, if you've ever had fibromyalgia, that's what it feels a lot like that. I kind of think they're connected, being an empath and being fibromyalgia are somehow connected. But anyway, so welcome. And I saw earlier that Bonnie is a new member of the club, of the Intuit Club. So welcome. And if you want to join the club, please do. We'd love to have you. Earlier, I had someone ask a personal question, and we don't do personal questions on Thursday Night Live. We just do them in the club just because they are personal. And I kind of think a smaller, a little more protected atmosphere is better for that. So that's why we do it in the club. And that's why. And you just push the join button on any video that you want, and you can join the club. Thank you, Janet. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And those of you who don't know, I do donate the money from the channel to different causes. I'm sure that tonight it will go to something. I know UNICEF is always a very safe one to send for the Ukraine. So I've just been feeling that very, very much. So if you would like to give, then that was probably is where it will go. Okay. Hi, Tennery. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Okay, guys. I appreciate you guys being here. What's the first question? Are guides more active during times of upheaval like this? Absolutely. Absolutely, they are. Our guides, other people's guides, even the villains in this story, even their guides are everything is turned up a notch for various reasons. I think for one thing, the energy is just it's more. The energy is when things like this happen, a lot more people are praying, a lot more people are meditating, they're doing things to try and help that way. And then on the flip side of that, you have people that are more emotional and scared and worried and nervous. So there's all these different kinds of energies coming up. Wow. Thank you guys for helping. For donating and helping. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm going to let Adam keep track of that as I can read. But my guides are also saying that it's also individual, that they're very aware and tuned into their own people, that they're connected to. So they're very aware of the needs of the people that they're with. And so everything is, when something like this happens, for varying reasons, things are tuned up a notch, but my guides are saying that a lot of it is individual. Yet, individuals are more going through more stuff. There's a lot more energy going on. And so they need to really plug in, and they're very, very, very active. Yes. Will Ukraine get the arms, including planes, they need to help defend their country? So I'm hearing yes, but I feel like it's already happening. I'm seeing something being rolled, like I feel like something's rolling through in the dark. It's like I'm looking from above, and you know how you can see, like, you can, when you look at like a map, you can see like state lines, and you can see the lines on the map. I feel like it's like the map of the countries, and things are in the dark, or like rolling over the lines in the dark. So I feel like, but they're on the ground though, they're rolling over. So I feel like somehow they're moving things through in the dark and getting things there, or under the cover of darkness. Darkness could also mean like underground. It could mean, that they're doing it on the down low, but they're going to get them. And I want to say, like, they're getting them. They're getting them now. It's happening. But we don't know about it. But that, in a way, I guess that makes sense, because if they were like, we're going to deliver them on Tuesday at blah, blah, blah time, blah, 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 Russia would know that too. So it would make sense that things would be very much like on the down low. But yeah, I'm getting like, yeah, and it's happening. And like I said, I'm getting these pictures of like things rolling into the country, like under the cover of darkness. So yeah. Will the Russians use biological weapons on the Ukrainian people? U.S. intelligence appears to think so. Okay. So, okay. And this is the one I've been struggling with today. But I thought I'm going to wait till tonight, because I'm going to see if I get a different. So one second. I'm just going to scribble for just a second. Thank you, everybody. I keep hearing they don't want to. So that it fits with what I was getting earlier, which I was feeling like they're arguing amongst themselves. I feel like Putin has lost it. First of all, I just want you to know that. I feel like has lost it. And I feel like there's like arguing amongst themselves, kind of like making the arguments basically of why and why not, and how not, and those kinds of things. So it feels like the majority of people that are having this conversation don't want to. So that's what I'm hearing. Yes, that whistling is just the birds outside the window. I can hear it too. It's just birds outside the window. I know when I do this, everyone's like, what is that? What is that? Just birds outside the window. It's okay. So that's good. So I feel like they don't want to, is what it feels like. So whoever is fighting about this and talking about this, the majority of those people don't think it's a good idea, but it's out there. And I feel like there's reasons why. The other thing that kept coming back to me, and I think I was talking to Adam about this either today or yesterday, that a couple months ago, they kept putting him and Hitler together. This was way before the invasion. It was like when they were just starting to kind of go around the border, and people are like, what are they doing? Why are they doing that? And he was lining up, around Ukraine, and I kept getting him and Adolf together, and my guys kept showing me that, and I was like, at the time, I said to Adam, I think it could be, and I think I said to you guys, I thought of two things right away that it could be that they're the same. Is that one is the bunker incident. We'll just call it the bunker incident. I thought that. And the other thing I thought of was bombing their own country, like hurting their own people. Like, if I can't have them, nobody will, that kind of thing, like he did at the end of the war. So those two things, like hurting their own people to some kind of end. Okay. So that also came back to me today about this. And this is all for entertainment purposes only. We're just chatting. This is just chatting, right? I don't know anything. Not touched with anybody, don't know anything. That came back to me too, that him and Hitler thing. So, and now I think, could it be more things? Could it be, he's not going to stop? We got to stop him. He's going to keep trying to, he's going to not stop at Ukraine. He's going to go, there's lots of things I thought about. Like, there's tons of things you could think, but those two things, the bunker incident and hurting his own people for his own gain, those two things came to mind first when they kept showing me Hitler. So, and it also could be his place in history as well, that he's going to be completely, people will just be sick at the mention of his name. But those two things kept coming back. So I keep hearing that. So in a way, it's right now they're leaning towards no, but there's a fight going on. There's argument about this going on. And I feel like we should probably pray that the people in the room that don't want to do this or against it, we need to pray that those people can enlighten the other people, because I feel like right now this fight is happening, and right now they're not good guys. They're just the people that don't think this is a good idea. They're in the majority. Let's just put it that way. But it's not a democracy, right? Putin's going to do what Putin's going to do. But I feel like they are arguing about this, and it's a thing right now, and it's something they're actually pushing back on, because I don't know that they're arguing to do it to Ukraine, if you know what I mean. I don't want to say it, but that's what it feels like. And then that's what it feels like. So I am going to stay positive and hope that those kind of slightly less evil people kind of prevail, and that they don't do something like that, because Putin's already done. I mean, I already said a long time ago, if he goes into Ukraine, he's done. I already heard that. I heard that a million times. If he does that, he's done. So he's done. But if they do something like that, I think Russia's done. I think they will be pariahs in the world. Nobody will do business with them. Nobody will want to know them. It would be awful, awful, awful. So let's just pray that they don't do something that dumb and that just horrific. So we'll just pray that that's the way the wind blows, and that they will put that idea to rest. I'm telling you, though, that your U.S. intelligence they're going to be the heroes of this. I mean, they have been absolutely incredible. Incredible. And I have to believe, I think Adam said the same thing, that there's a lot of stuff going on underneath the surface that we have no idea about, that they're trying to do to help Ukraine. So just know that as well. So, all right. So I hope I answered that as well as I can, at least right now. Speaking of the U.S. participation, are U.S. special forces involved in Ukraine? So that's what we were just talking about. But I'm going to ask about the special forces. Okay, so I feel like I know where they are. So, it's weird. I've never felt like every once in a while I'll feel like I don't want to give anything away, but I really do kind of feel like that with this. But I'll tell you that so the answer is yes, but I feel like there are people on land borders and also sea borders as well. And I feel like what I feel like is if anything happened, or if he did something where the special forces were needed, it would be like that. And they would be like, all of a sudden, just they're in Ukraine, then they were just there. So I feel like, and it could be more than special forces, but when you ask that question, I started to see them like lining up in these different areas. And so I feel like they're there, and it does feel like just like it would just be like as quick as lightning. They would just be like in there and be like, where did they come from? That kind of thing. So that's what I'm getting. So that's so involved in Ukraine. I feel like not really right now. I feel like probably information and that kind of stuff they would be, but I feel like it's more like they're at the ready is kind of what it feels like. So, and I feel like it's weird because I feel like they know, I'm just going to say this. I feel like they know, for entertainment purposes only, I feel like our intelligence knows something that may happen, that may cross a line, as far as like the UN is, or NATO is involved, or the UN or whatever NATO is involved. And I feel like they're at the ready for that, and that's why they're there. And so, so that's what I'm feeling. So I don't know. That's what I get. So. The U.S. officially rejected Poland's idea of sending planes to Ukraine, then backfiling Poland with new aircraft. Is this still unofficially happening? So that is kind of what I felt like I was kind of seeing, at least partly, was, and that's the only thing that we kind of know of, right? But I feel like there's more to this, because I'm seeing, I'll say exactly what I'm seeing, but I'm seeing things that fly, but they're not really planes. I don't want to say exactly, but I'm seeing something that's going, it's like they're going over the borders of countries, like just rolling in the dark of night. But I feel like it's other stuff too. I don't think it's just planes. I feel like it's other stuff too, but it's just like rolling in, and it's really like weird. I don't know why they're giving me that imagery, except to say that like they're doing it, they're fooling them, or they're doing it, it's working, because it's just like it's really like slow, dark, and they're just like rolling in. It's silent. It's really weird imagery, but I feel like this, but I also feel like it's like now this is happening, like it's happening right now. So there we go. And I actually feel like it's not, I actually feel like it isn't necessarily just the US. I mean, I feel like it may even be someone aside from the US, like France or England or somebody like that, because it doesn't feel like it's just us. It doesn't feel like that. I feel like we have a part in it, but I don't feel like we're the only players. I just don't, it feels like it's a joint effort. Something's going on. I can't put my finger on it, but I also think I'm not supposed to put my finger exactly on it, because I don't want people knocking at my door being like, how do you know this? I don't want that either. My guys are gonna, they're gonna, I'm sure they would protect me and protect us and whatever. Not that there's, FBI guys watching this show or whatever. They're like, my favorite show's on. But I know that my guys protect me for stuff like that. So I think that's why I'm just kind of seeing it. It's like, this is what you need to know, and this is what is going on. So there you go. Yeah. Well, Fox News and Carlson pay a price for their connections to Russia. Also, Madison Cawthorn and the anti-Ukrainian cabal. We call Madison Cawthorn Haircut, so we will be calling him Haircut. That's what I call him. And I gotta shut up, Haircut. But anyway, that's what we call him. So you know what they're showing me? And now it's time for it to explain the television show to you guys. But Adam's like, oh no, everyone, the television show. There's an episode of Little House on the Prairie that you probably know, or you may not know. It's one of Mike and Cassie's favorites. We love it. I think it's called the, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but this corrupt evangelical guy comes to town. You guys remember this one? This evangelical guy comes to town, and he's completely corrupt, and he is like a healer, and he has all these fake people. He pretends to heal them, and then at one point Paul's like, oh, we caught you, and all this stuff. But at the end of that, there's this, and this is the scene they're showing me, is he's been revealed, like, he's a big fake, and he's in front of a whole audience, and they've been buying this thing the whole time, and finally he's revealed as this big fake. And this old man, I love, because it's his only line, and he totally, does it great. But he's like, he's a phony. Let's all get out of here. And everybody gets up, and they're like, that's what they showed me. So I feel like all of this stuff, and the fact that we can see things with our own eyes, but we're hearing other stuff, and it's on a world stage. There's something about it being like the whole world is involved in this. It's not just like our country, and I don't like you and you don't like me. There's something different about the whole world is watching. So that's the scene they showed me, was when he's like, he's a phony, let's get out of here, and everybody kind of gets up and walks out. And he stands there being like, listen to me, I am real. You got to listen to me and stuff. So what that tells me, if I were going to, and this is what I do, right? They give me these little pieces, and then I kind of have to think, okay, then that one's pretty obvious that there'll be a large part of their audience that will be like, you've been lying to us, or you're a bunch of liars, or we don't agree with you anymore because we know Putin's weird and whatever. But it's also telling us that they're going to keep talking. Like it may not shut them up. Because at the end, he's still trying to, be like, I am a preacher, listen to me. Anyway, it's a great episode. It might be even called The Preacher or something. But anyway, yeah, I love that episode. But that is what I think may happen to Tucker Carlson and Haircut and all of these the Weirdo Brigade. Or they could start a band called the Weirdo Brigade. That could be their future. Okay. Lifeline, new lifeline, new lifeline for them. Okay, so anyway, that's what they showed me. So that's what I think is going to ultimately happen with this stuff. Yeah, their rhetoric is not going to age well with all that's going on and all that's going to happen. So, okay, is Putin the antichrist? Nostradamus identified or a historical antichrist. I mean, does he have a larger spiritual role he's fulfilling? We seemed broken, but somehow mended through this. Now, I am going to ask that question. I remember that many, like I would say, at the very, very beginning of the Trump administration, Cassie did a channeling, and it wasn't on the channel or anything. It was just like in our living room, which I make her channel all the time when she's here. I do this for famous people and stuff like that. Who wouldn't, if they had a channel in their living room? And she's such a good channeler. But I asked her that exact question, and I'm sure that things have not changed, but or maybe we did talk about it on the channel for some reason. But she said that, that he was like kind of chosen to, like he was chosen to play like this kind of role if we needed it. If the world called for it, and if the world conjured it up, made it happen, needed this lesson, went the way that they went. And that Trump was not so much that. It was more like there was this role to be filled, and he filled it because his jerky personality is like that. That role was kind of filled by him, of stuff that we needed to kind of go through. And I mean, this is a whole bigger conversation. So I hope that people that are watching I've known that most of you that watch all the time are following what I'm saying. This is a bigger picture kind of thing. This isn't like, he's pretending to be something that he's not. He is who he is. And it doesn't mean also that there won't be some kind of it doesn't mean that he can't be like punished here or, be held to account here or something like that. It just means that there's a predestined kind of feel to his life. So I'm going to, and again, because we have free will, it's if we call it up, if we need it to happen, if our world gets to that point, it's like that person goes into that role. It's like, that's what it's like. Because we could have gone a complete other route or a complete other way. There's a million ways we can go because there's so many of us and we're all making decisions all the time. And so there's so many possible roads that we can go on. And so me sitting here doing this, I'm telling you, from where we are right now, which road it looks like we're on, which possible road it looks like we're on. That's like my job, what I'm doing here. But in the big scheme of things, there's so many roads, there was probably a whole bunch of different kinds of scenarios that could have happened right after Trump left. Take, for instance, Bill Barr. had William Barr just made the choice to do the right thing at the time that he could have with the Mueller report, we would be on a completely different course right now. You know what I mean? So there are bigger players that make bigger decisions that impact more people, but we all are, our decisions are very, very are important. They matter. So let me ask about Pootie. So this is one of those things where I'm getting really dizzy. I feel like Nostradamus had some ideas a little bit, I'll say wrong. Nostradamus was really wrong. He had a few things the way that he saw them for his time and for how he thought about things and what he did. He was still a human being, basically. So because they're saying like, oh yeah, there've been a lot of antichrists. It's not like there's just one or just a couple. And there have been a lot of people that have been in those kinds of roles. So yes, he's one of those. And it does feel like more of a, this is the part you will play if it's needed. That's what it feels like. And I know I don't want people to think that, oh, well, great. Well, he'll know that if he's supposed to do this, he'll never get punished for anything, or he'll never go. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that on the other side. It's a completely different kind of, here it's right and wrong, justice, no justice. You're in jail, you're not in jail. If you don't get, if you don't get put in jail, you get away with it. It's not like that there. And so that's all I can tell you, is that it is not at all the same thing there at all. And so the answer, I guess, to that question is yes, but he hasn't been the only one. And it is like you said, it's kind of weird that this is in a weird way kind of uniting the world in something, even if it's something that's horrible. And I also got something else today. I think I'll put it though in its own video because it will take a while to explain. But it basically kind of is like the world keeps doing this and learning this way over and over and over again. It's a chosen, it's kind of a chosen way as a mass that we keep choosing to learn. And it's a really painful way to learn. And so it's almost like right now with what's happening, it's almost like they're doing it again. They're doing that again. Like they're learning that way again. Why are they doing that? It feels like that, but I'll explain that more and more in depth. So don't, we won't go off on that right now, but it was another movie thing. So but I think I'll put it in its own video because I want to explain the whole thing. But, yeah. So anyway, that's what, yeah, I know, Danny, I know Dolores Cannon says that that the Antichrist is in the Middle East, and my guys are saying that, and I'm sure it all comes from the same source, but that there have been many. So, and that's our chosen, and his Nostradamus, his chosen term, the Antichrist, just the opposite of Christ. Whatever the opposite. I mean, even Donald Trump, it's like that. But he alludes to the fact there's only one, and my guys are saying no. There have been a lot. There have been a lot, and there have been a lot of Christ-like figures too. so if we're all just waiting for that one, it's like, no, that really isn't a thing. It's there have been a lot of them. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. Okay. Do light workers know they are light workers and what they should be doing now? Interesting. Okay. So my guys are saying that not necessarily. They don't necessarily, light workers don't necessarily know they're light workers. However, they tend to end up doing what they're supposed to do. It's almost like when you come in as a light worker, it's almost like your soul memory, or that part of you, that soul part of you that kind of knows why you're here, what you're here to do. It's almost like it's a little bit stronger. And so even though you may not know that you're a light worker and that you're here to bring light into the world, but you end up being a nurse, or you end up being a teacher, or you end up in a profession or doing something that does that. It gives that opportunity. So my guides are saying not necessarily, but they tend to do what they're supposed to do. So and they're saying they're very likely to figure it out at some point in their life, they're also saying like that, like it's so funny because they're like, light worker, there's so many kinds of that kind of thing. We label everything. I was talking to Rob about this, but we label everything, as human beings. We label everything. This cup, this me, I'm Kim, we label everything because that's what we do. We have a voice box and we have language and we talk and we need to communicate. So we label everything. So light workers are saying that's a great word. That's a great term, but it's broader and it's varied. There's a spectrum. It's like there's, so it's almost like there aren't enough names really. And we haven't named enough names to know all the different kinds of light workers there are. So there are different spectrums. So like you'd have like Mother Teresa, would be a light worker, one end of the spectrum. And then you might have a light worker that is, I don't know, just does, is just the nicest person in the library. You know what I mean? It's like there's a big spectrum of light workers and how they, like how much they're called and how much they're here to do and what they're here to do. And I'm not like an expert on this, and I don't know all about light workers and those terms like seed child and light worker. Those are still fairly new to me. But they're saying there's a huge spectrum, and we kind of blanket it with light worker, but that's fine. But just know that it's like there's a lot in between, and some people know and some people don't. But the ones that don't usually end up doing what they're supposed to do anyway, because they're just drawn. It's kind of more that part of them that tells them you're a light worker speaks a little louder. So they kind of know what they are and what they're supposed to do. That's it. Okay. Oh, thank you, Jose R. Okay. Putin has 2 daughters. One is a scientist, the other a pediatric doctor. What did they think about their father? So I'm getting that one of them really doesn't like him and really doesn't kind of stays away from him or something. Because I feel like they've been estranged, or like they haven't seen each other for a long time, or they've just been like emotionally estranged or something. Because I feel like a real distance between them. The other one, and I want to say she's the doctor, but I'm not for sure. I don't really know for sure, but I want to say that. The other one I feel like is a little more like him in that she's a little more selfish and a little more self-centered, and kind of has really enjoyed the lifestyle that has been offered to her, and kind of like a little bit my guides are also cautioning though that the people that grow up in these kind of lifestyles and under these circumstances, in these really weird, sheltered, very, very wealthy, bizarre circles, they don't have the opportunity to be normal. So it's almost, I feel like they're almost saying like, don't judge, it's kind of like they don't even have the opportunity to be exposed to being what it's like to be normal, or what we think of normal. Their world is just so weird. It's so weird. And so their values are so weird, and their perspective is so weird, and they just don't, and they're shielded from so much. They don't have any idea a lot of the stuff that goes on. They're just kind of, but like I said, I feel like the one daughter is a little savvier than the other, or the circle she runs in or something, or a little more knowing or savvy than this one. And I think just naturally she's a little bit more feeling than the other one. The other one feels more cold and more like, more like her dad, and more like, and not necessarily, wants to cause anyone harm necessarily, but is just extremely selfish. And, think of like the worst housewife. Like if you were doing like the Real Housewives, think of the worst one. That's probably her. Because it just feels like she's just not a very, but again, they're telling me again, don't judge, because their life is just too, you don't understand how weird their life is. They've been, yeah, they didn't have a chance. Let's just put it that way. They didn't have a chance. It's weird for your guides to almost ask you to be a little sympathetic to people like that, because you think they have had everything. They have had every chance in the world to be, to be this or that. They're educated, they're this or that, and they're still like, don't judge, because it's too weird. They didn't have a chance. It's too weird. And they're saying it is like how we would be more familiar with just being like middle class. We would be more familiar with the other end of the spectrum, where you grow up in maybe a home where you're very, very poor and your mom is in jail and you're this and that. It's almost like that kind of flip side, like they didn't have a chance, or the chances were going to be so difficult for them. How could they ever make it? That kind of thing. So it is like the opposite end of that. And we think of one as like, well, what are they complaining about? But they're saying it's freaking weird, and they didn't have a chance. The one is, we're lucky she's as normal as she is. It's probably because of what she does and what she chose to do. She's just a little more, has a little bit more of a lighter heart, a bigger heart. That's it. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I'm getting. So
sorry to interrupt. As you've been talking, I've been like just reading, and it's the Daily Mail, so you don't necessarily have to believe it. But apparently, he's never acknowledged any of his kids. He doesn't acknowledge he has any kids.
Great.
One he's somewhat close to. So the cold one potentially is the scientist. She was born to be a scientist at her
That's
mom.
what I was saying was like, because I was thinking the nicer one seemed like to be the doctor, and the scientist seemed to be like him.
Okay. Well, the other
Yeah.
one's a rock and roll dancer, but yeah, she is like kind of the favorite. She's a rock and
I
roll
didn't get
dancer
that.
with a terrible, terrible, like Brady Bunch haircut that just looks out of place, and she looks like she's wearing not mum jeans, but like a mum. Anyway, you gotta. If anyone's interested in this, like, just
She
Google
sounds amazing.
Susan Shorter's.
Like,
It's actually kind of a fun read, and especially the young gymnast who was dubbed the most flexible woman in Russia, who apparently ended one
they're
of his
like, that's
marriages.
true.
Okay, I'll get back to the question.
Like I said, pick the worst housewife that wants to have the music career or whatever. Pick that one, and that's probably her. But that is the way she comes across, and just kind of, I don't, just is kind of like him, and just kind of selfish and whatever. But again, they grew up in a very weird life. They've had a weird life. They're weird, whatever.
Apparently. All right.
Yeah. So that's weird. He would acknowledge his kids. Blech, ugh, ugh. Bah, him and kids and him. Yeah. Okay. How is Biden dealing with the stress of managing the responses to this war? You know what's weird is I just felt like there was a part of him that always knew he'd kind of be in a situation like this. Like, I don't know if it was, I don't know why that is, but I get the feel, I feel like he always knew he'd be in this position for some reason, or he'd be in like squaring off with like a Hitler type, or squaring off with like somebody like this. I feel like he always, like, it's something he kind of always knew about his life or something. It's almost, yeah, I'm getting chills like all over. Like it was, I don't know if it was a premonition or just like, just like one of those things that you always knew. I know that, Princess Diana said that she always knew she'd never be queen. She just always knew. But it feels like he always knew he'd be in this position with like squaring off with this like Hitler type. So it's weird because I do feel like it is like stressful and hard, and he's exhausted and things like that, but he's up to the task. I feel like and I feel like his son is like right here. Like I feel like his son is always like right on his shoulder. Or like right behind him, and I always feel Bobby Kennedy around him. I've always felt Bobby Kennedy around him for whatever reason. I don't know what his connection is with the Kennedys, but I've always felt him being flanked by those two all the time. Yeah, I'm getting chills with that as well. So I feel like that he has a lot of help right now from the other side. And I feel like he's getting the strength to get through this, and that he'll get through it. But it is like, of course, it's taxing, it's stressful, it's exhausting. But I also feel like he I don't want to say he enjoys it, because it's not that. But like I said, I feel like he always knew he'd be like in this position of like heading like head to head with someone like this. And I also feel like he likes this kind of thinking, like outmaneuvering and being one step ahead, and he likes this kind of stuff. Like he'd be great in a game of Battleship or something like that. Like he likes that type of thinking and understanding. He's the complete opposite of Trump. Complete opposite, because Trump would be like, oh, could you put it in a sentence or two and then we'll figure something out. Biden is like completely in the weeds and wants to pull out every single root and look at and I think that's one reason too why he's so why it can take him a while to make a decision, not because he's indecisive, but because he wants to know every single little thing that he can before he makes a decision, which is great in a situation like this, but it does tend to make him look a little like he's slow to make decisions. It can make him look a little cautious, but he's so good at this. Like I said, I think history will judge. Adam's spirit guys have told him this too. He will be judged so positively by history. So just saying, don't worry about Joe. He'll be okay. Will these events and freezing of Russian assets reveal the many connections of the GOP to the Kremlin? So, I mean, they're saying yes, but a lot of this is known already. Like they kind of know already who's involved. We don't know. So we might find out, because stuff may come out and it may not come out. To me, it almost feels like it may not come out like in our press. It may come out like in the English press, like about our politicians or something like that. For some reason, sometimes some of our press can be a little bit hesitant to go after the GOP for whatever reason. I don't know. Now maybe not so much, but for some reason they always kind of tiptoe around those guys, and I don't know why. So, but I feel like that may be the difference this time, is that we may find out about this. So I think yes. So to answer to your question is yes, but I feel like as far as like the government knowing, or like people like the FBI and stuff, they kind of know like who's taking money from where and from who and why and stuff. It's us that have been in the dark about this stuff. And like I said, this year, this last week hasn't shown, but this year, the reason I even started the membership was because I kept being told this year was going to be a year that things are going to come to a head in a big way. And we all needed to figure out how to get centered and grounded and be able to go to that place, because it's going to be like whirlwinds around us. We're going to be going like this, not knowing what the hell is going on, who to believe, where to go, what's going on, that we all need to find that center and that solid place inside ourselves that we can stop and be in when the madness is being mad. That's why I even did it. So because it is a 2022 thing, because that's the messages that I got, was like over and over, go back and look at my 2022 messages for that. That's what that was the main messages, were like, everything's coming to a head this year in a big way, and find your center, find that peaceful place inside that you can go to, and stuff like when the shit hits the fan, it's going to hit the fan in a big way. Yeah. And this week was a rough week. This week, I even went on Twitter and I called Jim Jordan a dipshit. So that's how bad it was. I started out, I put the little stars for the it so I wouldn't get blocked. But I was so mad at him talking about gas prices. I'm just like, just go away, you total weirdo. Anyway, so that's how That's how it got to me this week. But I mean, this week was off the charts. This week was off the charts for an empath. It was off the charts. Okay.
Can I just say, holy hell, we actually did have trolls for the first time.
Oh,
legit, agenda pushing trolls. So
yeah, it's weird. I didn't feel that bad about it, Kelly Scarborough, but I did feel like I'm out of control. I need to get off Twitter. But it was weird on Ladies' Night. I don't know if you guys did Ladies' Night. We had a few trolls, and we usually don't get them on, I would say on my channel, on this channel, we don't get them very often, but we don't really. We've been really, really lucky. And I did warn Adam tonight. I'm a little bit psychic, so I told him to watch out for trolls. And now I guess, but we have some. So welcome trolls.
we're not Hal. Like Hal loves trolls. He's like,
Hal,
click
Adam
up,
loves
click down,
Hal Sparks, so he watches him. Trolls are a sign of success. Oh, amazing, Rob. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
We like our community, not trolls. Okay.
I think people are frustrated and angry, and I think it comes out in weird ways. I don't know what it is. And trolls, maybe people are bored. Maybe they lost their job this week. Maybe they just hate blondes. Maybe I don't know. I don't know why they do what they do. I don't understand it because I rarely, it never occurs to me if I don't like somebody or if I don't like something that I'm hearing to leave a comment and be like, I don't like this. It is so weird to me. The thing I would do is not watch it or not watch it again. I guess trolling is just different. I don't understand. I guess I don't understand trolls. I don't know what this is. So you came to the wrong place because I don't get it. Anyway, so welcome trolls, I guess. I hope you enjoyed trolling us. I hope it was worth your troll time.
So you got to pay the toll to get. No, that was something else. Got to pay the toll to get in that boy's hole. The troll toll. Sorry. Always Sunny in Philadelphia. We are at time. We have a lot more questions though, but the question is, do you want to do them? And there are some non-Ukraine questions.
Yeah, maybe like 10 more minutes. Is that okay?
Right.
Like 10 more minutes, and then maybe 2 or 3 more questions, and so we can, yeah. Like I said, it's been a long week, and I did do readings today, so I'm a little tired, and I don't want to. Part of it too is I don't want to get to the point where I'm like, losing my connection. Basically, I'm not as accurate as I could be. Anyway. Anyway, yeah, and plus trolls. I'm so tired this week. Just stop. Stop raining on my parade. Stop it. By the way, oh my God, I watched Funny Girl on the plane, both to and from when I went to Cabo with my sister, and it was the best. That movie is, if you have not seen it, if you like musicals, if you have not seen it from start to finish, that to me is a perfect movie. It is perfect. I love that movie. I love Barbara Streisand. If you don't like any of those things, then I would say definitely don't watch it. But if you like those things, if you like musicals, if you like Barbara Streisand, and you have not seen it, it is. I love that movie from start to finish. I love it. Okay. Trump's pilot had to do an emergency plane landing recently. Apparently, his plane is in poor condition. God, have you seen the way he treats his own physical body? So yeah, I'm sure his planes are run down. Has he run out of money? It would cost several hundred thousands to fix. Yes. So I was expecting to hear, that he's cheap because he's notoriously cheap. But what they're saying is that well, at least this is the feeling that I get. So, Mr. Trump, there's a wing broken on your plane. And he's like, call so-and-so and tell him, to give you this and give you that. It's like, it's almost like he's not. And then there's limits on so he is cheap, but it's also like he's not involved in anything in that kind of stuff. Something like, if it was like, we're going to sign this $1 billion deal, he'd be like, oh, I'm coming, I'm bringing my pen. So that kind of stuff, he's right front seat, front and center. But for his plane, it's like, oh, call Joe and have him, whatever, give you some Scotch tape and some cardboard or whatever, like he's not really involved in that kind of stuff. Partly too, they're saying he doesn't understand, like it's stuff he completely does not understand. So like the mechanics of an airplane, forget it. There's no way anyone is gonna be able to explain anything to him. But it's also like he has like these go-to people that are like from the 80s, or like they're in their 80s, or they're it's like, so it's like it's all bad. It's like he is cheap. So it's like, this, go to this guy because he's really cheap and we've used him before and blah blah blah. But it's like, but he hasn't fixed a plane since 1988. You know what I mean? So it's almost like it's all bad. It's not just like one thing is bad, because I was expecting to just hear he's cheap. It's not just that. It's like the whole system is like terrible. So I guess that's the answer, is that that not only is he cheap, but he's like, he doesn't know what he's doing, like in any sense of anything. He just kind of tells people to get it done, has key people that go to Joe Schmo, he's, on 2nd Avenue or whatever. And then they're terrible, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm getting, is like, it's kind of like the whole thing, his whole system, whatever it is, has broken down and it's bad. And now his planes are falling out of the sky. So I guess that's what happens. It is almost like he needs to, like, at this point, it isn't just like you need to put more money into this, sir. It's like everything needs to be revamped, and you need a whole new way of doing things, and you need to know a whole new bunch of new people. It's all fading, it's all old and fading like him. So I hope that answer wasn't too mean, but that is what it's like. It's like he needs a lot of stuff to change for his operation to be working well again. Isn't just his cheapness, which is what I was thinking it may have been. It was just always, he's just cheap. Is there any chance that Putin's inner circle steps in and puts a stop to the invasion of Ukraine? Well, okay. I keep seeing one man. I don't know why I keep seeing him, but I keep seeing one man that may leave or walk away or something. It's not Lavrov. It's not old handsome Lavrov. It's not that guy. It's another. This guy looks a little bit younger, and I don't know that I've ever seen him before, to be honest. I don't have a name or anything for him, but I feel like right now he might be the one who's kind of squaring off about these chemical weapons and stuff. So I do feel like there's cracks right now. And when you ask that question, it's kind of like not really stop it, but I just heard, but maybe stop him. So there's something with this. I don't know, because I feel like it's more directed at like Putin himself. And welcome, Myrna Loy, to our new member. Welcome to the club. Yeah, this feels like I think whatever precipitates the end of this has to do with this man that I keep seeing. He's a little bit, he looks middle-aged. He doesn't seem as old as the other men. I don't know all the people in his circle, so I don't really know. I know Lavrov, which we always see that guy, but I don't know the other ones. But he's not in he's in like a suit, and he seems a little younger than the other ones. But I feel like he has something to do with when this ends, why this ends. If it ends peacefully, like if it ends, like if they just kind of start rolling, we'll see, exit stage left, if they just start rolling back, it has something to do with him. Abramovich, maybe. It has something to do, but I feel like it's against Putin. Like he's like, so I don't know if, I don't think it's like getting rid of Putin. I don't think it's like that. I think it's just like he may quit or walk away or something. And it might be kind of like, oh, that guy walked away, I guess we better get out of here. I don't know. It's weird. I can't exactly put it together. And this is why I'm talking about when I go a little bit too long, I'm more like, wait, what? But I'm seeing a guy, he has a key role that has something to do with them either leaving or stopping with the invasion or changing course in some way. And I feel like I get not a great feeling about him, but I do get a feeling with him with like Putin's losing it. Like something's wrong, like the truth teller in a way in that group. Like this is not going well. He's going crazy. I feel like he's that guy. So anyway, that's what I'm getting, is something with him when that question is asked. So I'm sure we will know who that is. But right now, all I can tell you is it looks like a younger, not young, younger, probably in his 50s, kind of like middle-aged guy, kind of. I know he kind of has bigger eyes for some reason. They keep showing his eyes like he's like that. Like, I don't know. He's just always surprised if he's had recent Botox I think he just has bigger eyes. So that might be a thing as well. I don't know. Yeah. So. I'm
Googling big-eyed Russians.
Oh, I don't know.
Nice.
It's just inner circle. I don't know who it's his inner circle, but.
All right. What last question? It was the first one of the evening, and I think it's a good one to end on. So.
Okay. This was the first question of the evening, but I think it's a good one to end on. Okay, you just said that, Adam. You're repeating yourself. Is there a particular prayer, mantra, etc. we can all be using to bring peace? So this is interesting, and people in the chat might have ideas. I know a lot of people. I have to look it up because I do love Hawaii and Hawaiian culture, so I know the people will know that prayer, the Hawaiian prayer that. Let's look it up. Prayer, and it is the. It's the "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you" prayer. That one. Ho'oponopono prayer. A lot of people like that prayer. But to bring peace, I do think it's kind of individual, and I don't think that it has to be one prayer, right? I think the intention has to be there, right, to bring peace. But it does make me want to tell you guys this. I was thinking about this earlier, because I asked this to Cassie, because I was asking her what, because she'll ask me questions, and I'll get, ask my guys for her, and she'll do the same thing for me, because it's hard to do it for yourself, as you probably have learned. If you guys have learned, it's hard to do it when it's yourself. It's easier to ask someone else. And I asked her that question, and I said, what should I be like saying or praying for or doing? What can I do for Ukraine? And then what should we be saying to Putin, like, to stop this? And for Ukraine, it was like, light a candle. That's why I've got this going right now. I've got my peace candle. See my, like that peace, my peaceful candle going right now. She was saying that it was very important right now that we light candles for the people who have passed in the Ukraine. So to kind of commemorate and acknowledge their passing, and also because they still have people here that are in danger, that are still worried, they're still scared, that are still nervous. So the answer she got was to light a candle. For some reason, lighting a candle, bringing actual light out, is very important. And maybe other people might know why. I don't really know why. I didn't come from a church that lights a lot of candles. I know Catholics do. I know the Jewish faith that they do. So, but there is something about lighting a candle that is very illuminating. Something that it does do something. It actually does do something and so when you pray and you light a candle, it's almost like the prayer has more oomph to it. It just does. And so, but one thing that they said was to pray for the people who have passed, but also to pray for the people in the Ukraine to be protected. And I talked to a woman today in my read. I think it was today. It's all runs together. It might have been yesterday. And she was saying she's a healer. So she actually kind of uses her hands and places like a white dome over Ukraine, like to protect it, like it's protected. And she said then she takes her hands and she literally pushes back the Russian the Russian like army or the Russian, soldiers. And she's like, it's so weird that convoy has just been sitting there forever, like it can't move. And she's like, I wonder if people, with everybody thinking like to push it back or to stop it, they can't move. Like it's stopped. All these light workers working together. So those are a couple of things, but the weirdest one was, and so those are ones that I use and I think of, and I just actually just pray for them to be protected. And I always ask for angels to surround them and to cover them and to keep them, that kind of thing. But the weirdest one was the Putin one, because I said, well, how should we pray for Putin? Should we pray for enlightenment? What should we be praying? And that one came through as, the card, because she's like, I know this is going to sound really bad, but this is what they're saying. To picture him kind of like in a coffin. And I was like, oh, what? And she's like, no, she's like, I know. She's like, it's not what you think, because that's what I thought first too. She's like, that's not what you think. And she's like, do you know the card, the Four of Swords in the tarot deck? And if you don't know what that is, afterwards you can look it up. But it's the Four of Swords, and there's like kind of a box with a person like laying on the, I don't know if it's on the box or in the box, but they're laying there, and there's a sword, I think, under him, and then 3 swords with the points down, like on. So if he sat up, the swords would kill him. So they said, so imagine, it's almost like imagine that being Putin in that box. And I said, why? And she said, because they're asking you, they're saying to ask for him and his mind to be still, to stop, to be still, to be at peace, and to stop. And so that's what I thought, that was so interesting. So that's what they said to pray for Ukraine, but also for Putin, to place him, to visually place him in that card, or in that situation, in that box with the 4 swords. And I don't know exactly what they just said the card means time out, or just, to stop. So, but that's what it is behind it, is like to be still and for not only his body, but his mind to be still, because so much of this horror and these plans and this craziness, with this frenzy that he gets himself worked up to, it's all here, right? So there are some things for you to do. And I've been doing that today. I've been visualizing that today. And it gave me, I didn't, when it comes to people like Putin, you think, well, why would you pray for them? Who cares about them? But it's because of that. It's because they need prayers too. It's a different kind of praying for them. It's a different kind of prayer. It's a different kind of reason. It's a different kind of intention behind it. But if you wanted to know how to pray, that's how to pray, or how to a mantra or prayer. So there you go. There's just some suggestions. And I'm sure you guys could probably go on forever with lots of different suggestions for those things, because you guys are the best. So anyway, well, it's been a great night. I hope that the weekend and the next week is a little more, maybe some uplifting things will happen. And if we can all kind of just hold on together and link arms, as Debbie likes to say, and kind of do this together, we can get through this. Watch musicals, watch some nice TV, do things you love, hug your pets, hug your friends. Be with the people you love. And we're all here together. We're all doing that right now. Thank you to everybody who donated. I will send it on till it gets to the Ukraine. That's probably UNICEF is always a good place to go. So that will probably be, if it changes or anything like that, I'll put it on the community page. And then if you want to join the membership, just hit the join button on any video, and it'll just push join. And if you have any problems, if you're on an iPad or iPhone, just email me and I will send you directions, because they're just a little bit different. So, but next week we do we do have a book club, and we have a bi-weekly or bi-monthly meditation that I send out that's recorded. And then at the end of the month, we do personal mini readings for people. So, and that you can do I'll do mediumship for you, or answer a personal question. That's what it is. No biggie. Okay. So, and hugs to Luca. Yes, Luca has been kind of bratty today, but we will give hugs to Luca. He's been on one a little bit, but anyway, he's still a puppy and he's still a good boy. So, all right. So Sparky, Jessica Lynn, I do the name checks at the end for those of you who don't know. So, a deep buttle, I think, And okay, Vivian, Amy, Leona, Taylor, Stephanie, thank you so much. Thank you for a super sticker. Mick, Karen, Sue, Karen Gallagher, Lily Rose, VB, Freda Stinger. I always up a little bit. Little Spiro Tarot, Celtic Seer, Carolina Eberl, Joe G, Sweetie Darling, Lulu Mims, Elaine Swenson, thank you. Craig Dixon, Tony Stokes, Patricia, Kelly, thanks so much. Does the angel light turn off after these end? Well, they do. I mean, because I shut off the, it's through here that I always see it. If you turn around and stuff, it doesn't look like that. It's just a weird thing that happens. So yeah, in a way it does. Share the mystery, 1111, Celtic Crone, Kate Ingram, MD, Pamela Shin, thank you so much. Mimi Rose, Vivian, UB Jr., thank you. Bonnie, Samilia, Benkel, and thank you, Adam. I forgot to thank Adam. He already left too. I'll thank him downstairs, but I'll say thanks, Adam. But thank you to Adam as always. I mean, he's so great. So thank you, Adam. Ron, unconditional love. That's like a husband, right? You're like, you take out the garbage all the time. I want to thank you every time. No, thank you. Sweetie darling, MK, Karen, Roxanne M, Diana Martin, thank you. Kelly Shand, Kevin's Loving Vibration, thanks so much. Taylor B, Kathleen, J, Lightworker Tarot, CB, again, Vivian, Mary Hewitt, Katie Arbuckle, Jessica Lynn, Little Sparrow Tarot, I think I said, Marina Loy, welcome to the club, Tracy, Ask Me Third Eye, Be Still and Know, CB, Lillian Fredrickson, Marie Olga, Barb P, Joe Convey, Coney, Nancy Decker, Don Foster Langford, Tibo Ross, Rob Felciano, thank you so much. I'll talk to you. And I got, if you've emailed me, it takes me a while to get back to email. So, but I saw your email, Rob. Okay, Liz L, T-Barb, Carol Michaels, Sparky, thank you. Marjorie, Christine, Mims, Sweetie Darling, Spiral Eye, Smiling Heart, Barbara at Queens Avenue Tarot. Thank you so much. Spirit Rock, thank you. Aileen Forney, Kate Bill 1, I think. Kay Kajavi. Okay, and Roxanne, Freda Singer. But sorry, I don't mean la, but I keep saying the same people, and I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to figure it out. Beverly Russell, Rod D, Stephanie Craig, okay, Karen Conroy, Melody Lemonade, Cindy P, Martha Aparicio, Willow Houston, Julianne S, Pamela Doss, Neptune's Other Daughter, D. Buffy, Cheryl McLemore. Thank you guys. Aisha, Amy M, Leanna Taylor, Stephanie Craig. Thank you. Teresa Taryn, MK Karen, Sue F, Karen Gallagher. Thank you, Lily Rose. Thank you so much. VB, Freda Stinger, Kathleen, Martha, Rob D, Kathy W, J Cat Lady, Ron Unconditional Love Tarot. Thanks so much. Mims, Cat M, D Rose, City P. Who else? Brenda R, Smiling Heart. Cheryl Nash, Lisa Proschel, Christina Raposa, Taylor B, Spirits Beyond the Stars, Tiba Ross, CB, Esther Singh, MJC, Joe Schmo, Michelle Tom, Antoinette Ibarra, Patricia Franzino, Kelly Shand, Kathleen J. Lightworker Tarot. I think I'm repeating myself now. Lee Reeve, welcome to the club. Happy to have you. Happy to have you. Cindy P. M. Steve, Ethereal Material, Afraid of Singer, Live. Said that about 10 times. Peony and Roses. Delilah Gillis. Prince Charming's mom. Constance Campbell. Neat in Texas. Carol Lamb. Linda Cheryl Esther Singh. Let's see, Smiling Heart, she, Skip Heart 4, Butterflies Are Free, Lynn LeGlaire, Michelle Peterson, Judy Wentworth, Susan Quain, Marby, Congora, Oath 11, Rose Marie, Lama Bryan, Carol Chandler, Barbara, Karen Lund. I think we're about at the end of the road, guys. Tracy Ralph, Locololo. I'm sure I missed people, and I'm so sorry if I did, but MK Karen, yeah, I think I saw you. Cindy Parker. Cosmic Toga Party, I missed you. So happy that you are there. Eve Jr., saw you there. Okay, guys, have a good time. If you guys want to keep chatting, please do. It's been a great, a lot of fun. I don't know if I guess you can keep chatting if at the end of the broadcast, but I guess it doesn't matter. So, okay. All right, guys. Hope you guys have a great, great evening. Oh, Kate Ingram, D Fleming, K Travel Tarot, Lo Coco, D Rose, Allison L, Nancy Lanou. And I will see you guys next time. Oh, no. Tomorrow night, I'm with Debbie on her channel, Freebird Spirit. I think it's just her and I, and maybe Andrea will be there, but I think it's just her and I tomorrow night. TC, welcome as a new member. I don't think you'll regret it. I don't think you will. I hope you won't. All right. And Tracy Ralph, and I will see you next time.